Welcome back, YouTube. We got a 1/8 ounce underspin pillhead jig with red eye. Notice I got it in the vise a little bit of an angle. It kind of helps keep that underspin blade out of the way because my fingers are too clumsy to try to get that little O-ring off there. So I leave it on. I just put my jig head down a little bit of an angle. We're going to do the same thing. Using hairline dubbing hardest whole head cement for our glue layer. And we're going to do white head, white body, pink and white hackle feathers. And we're going to tie with pink thread, and I'm going to build a pink neck up around the top of this. So we are starting out with 140 Ultra. Kind of thin, but it ties good. So let's start our wrap right there behind the head. Let's move it all the way up the shank of the hook. And you're going to have to see, you're going to have to adjust a little bit while you're tying this to clear that underspin. So let's go all the way back down to the head. We're going to leave right there. We're going to cut that tag end off. Now we are going to, which one do I want to do first? We're going to put in some flash, and we're going to use this crystal polar flash. We're going to tie in, I want 2 strands in this one. So I'm going to pull 2 full strands off, which is quite a bit. It's going to be long, but we're going to double it over a couple times. And we're going to take those 2 and probably end up turning them into 4. Get everything up underneath your underspin, behind the head of the jig. And then let's lay that flash. Try to keep it straight on the bottom side of that shank of that hook. Let's go back up, tighten it down, and we'll see how much of that flash we got left, and whether or not we're going to, yeah, I think we're going to do it one more time. Got that one right there. It's not quite as long as the rest of them. So we're going to start it back about right here, and we're going to tie the rest of that flash in. When we get our hackle feathers on it, we might end up going back afterwards and put a little bit more flash on the outside of it. This is a pretty big jig head. It's got quite a bit of room there where you can build a body up pretty thick with it. You can get a really big profile jig off of this. That's what we got for our flash. And I really think when I add the hackle feathers, I'm probably going to put just a little bit more. Since we are going with a white head and white body, we're going to put a little more pink hackle in it than what I normally would. I want it to be really contrasting with the head. So we're going to take 3 pieces saddle hackle, about, let's say, 1.5 inches long. And then we're going to take 2 pieces of white saddle hackle, just about the same length, about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches, something like that. And you decide if you want the tail a little bit shorter, cut them a little bit shorter. If you want them longer, cut them a little bit longer. You know, if you're tying a jig that's going in your box, you make the call on it. But we're going to start out stacking a white and pink. If I can get 3 of them at one time, we're probably going to do 3 of them. But actually, I got enough room there for my thread, so we're going to do 2, and then we're going to go back and do 2 more. And when I lay that hackle on there, I'm going to kind of push that flash back so I don't accidentally get it wrapped up again. And we're going to do some light wraps there just to make sure our tail's exactly how we want it. Looks pretty good. So I think we're going to go to the, kind of lay the rest of it down on the other side. We're going to go 1 more pink hackle feather and 1 more white one. We'll squeeze them together and pull them stems out straight. Keep it all nice and even. And we're going to lay this a little bit more here on the side. And since you want, I'm wanting it to lay in one particular spot, I'm going to do some light wraps and then see if I need to turn it or not. And I don't. I kind of like how that fell out. Laid down in place pretty good. That's what we got so far. It's gonna be a pretty jig. I like it. Let's go with put some pink flash in there also. We're not going to do as much as we did with the other flash, but we're going to put just enough in there that there's just a little bit more pink with a little more sparkle showing through those feathers. So I pulled it up and I doubled it over, made a loop. Come right back up over top everything you got right there. And we're just gonna start laying it down. I want to gonna try to get these to lay even down the side, since we got the other flash coming right out of the middle of the tail. I kind of want these a little more off to the side. And we're gonna trim those two pink ones off just a little bit past the hackle feathers. So that's what we got now, is a little bit more pink thrown in there with that white. We are using small Antron white chenille, also from Hairline Devon. All this is available down at the Plateau Fly Shop. Check them out, especially if you're in the Springfield area or somewhere close by. All right, so we're going to lay our chenille right on the shank of that hook. And we're going to wrap it all the way back to the exact same spot where we stopped with everything else. And we're going to come all the way back up. Now I'm going to put a little bit more head cement on that. Let me get that big old drop off there. And we're going to put it up here where all there is thread. Up here on this side, you don't have quite all the material like you do with that chenille down there, so I always put it up here where it's a little bit smoother. And then we are going to wrap this chenille down. I'm going to straighten that jig head out so I can spin that peak vise just a little bit easier. And we're going to start turning it almost to the point that you're overlapping each wrap, but not quite completely overlapping. So you're going to go about half of an overlap. Trying to keep it even, keep it tight as you're going down. Get all the way up here to the head, and then you're going to want your chenille to switch to the other side. Just like so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tie this pink in, and I'm going to give it kind of a pink neck right there at the head. Let's cut the rest of our chenille. Get rid of that and get that out of the way. Put the jig back in there just a little bit more of an angle again, so that way we're keeping that underspin out of our way. And then we're going to wrap right here. And you want to keep that tight also. So we're ending up with a pink collar on this pink and white jig. Let's do one or two more real tight ones, and then we're going to finish it off with the whip finish. Now this is where you got to be careful that you don't end up with that thread while you're whip finishing it up inside that underspin. We're going to pull it out. We're going to make it tight. I'm only going to do one whip finish knot in that one, and then we are going to finish it off with UV resin, since I got so much thread showing right there. squeeze a little drop right there and kind of let it soak in a little bit. Let that UV resin absorb inside that thread. And this little tube, you can kind of use it and brush it on. So that way you know you got it covered real good. Then we're going to throw a UV light on it, get that one cured up. As thin as that went on, it shouldn't take but a few seconds to dry that one up. And that UV resin, that Solar Ease, I switched to this versus what I was using before. This hardens a whole lot faster than the cheap stuff I was getting from Amazon. This is a great UV resin. I cannot believe how fast that resin dries. Just those few seconds right there and that was done. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Give it a shot. This is not hard to do. Pretty rewarding. Go out and catch some crappie on a jig you made. Come out good. Use your imagination. They don't have to be perfect by any means. That crappie is not going to bite because you didn't overlap the thread quite right or the tail's a little bit shorter. Give it a shot. Do it. And if you got any questions when you're doing it, send me a message. Let me know. I'll help you out the best I can. I want to say thanks to Plateau Fly Shop for carrying all this material. They're a great group of guys. I urge you to check them out. We'll be doing some more videos from there. I think we're going to do them like after hours when there's nobody else there, and we can kind of focus on the shop and tie into place that's a little different location, a little different surrounding. But that is all I got. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell. It'll let you know when I got another video up. Stay tuned Sunday. I think we're going to do a live feed from here. And I'm probably going to give away a t-shirt, maybe some stickers. But I will let you know Sunday sometime around 6, 7, something like that. That is all I got tonight, YouTube. See you guys tomorrow. Or Sunday. Or whenever I do the next video.